In this episode, we want to take a look at Gandhi's famous Salt March. This was a march initiated by Gandhi against the British Empire, in which he started out with 80 people and went to march to the sea to grab a pinch of salt, and ended up with thousands upon thousands following him. And of course, everybody thought, salt? You're going to grab a pinch of salt? Wow, that's amazing. But Gandhi knew something that other people didn't realize, that you can't attack some abstract concept, but rather you have to do something tangible. And that's exactly what the salt was. It was a tangible reminder and display of the oppression of the British, who were controlling something as simple and important to life as salt. Gandhi's march produced significant self-reliance in India and created a huge people power movement with Indians from a very broad swath of the population, from the elites all the way down to the poorest peasants. In this episode, I want to focus specifically on Gandhi's idea of satyagraha, or soul force. The first concept here would be addressing specific injustices. This is important for two reasons. First of all, if something's arbitrary or abstract, then your opponents aren't going to really understand how they can change and how the issue can be resolved. If your complaint is specific, that means that you're less likely to be dismissed as merely disgruntled, and that your enemies actually have a hope of change because there's an objective goal that they can accomplish. Second, soul force helps to reveal lies, which empires and evil are built upon lies. And Solzhenitsyn discusses this in his work Live Not by Lies, as well as Václav Havel's work. We can see this perhaps most clearly in modernity when we see somebody in North Korea imprisoned and or killed for simply taking a poster down. And Havel talks about how something as simple as a poster is actually the affirmation of a lie. Putting that poster up that the government mandates you do is saying, I am scared of the government and not doing what they say. So taking a pinch of salt was telling the British Empire, you're going to try to control this, but we're not going to let you because it's my right to be able to take salt. 3, soul force is not passive but active. It's not violent, but it's active. Which brings us to point number 4, that soul force is nonviolent. And finally, soul force seeks to convert the opponents, not merely to win a victory over them, but to actually convert them and become friends with them. We see this in people like Frederick Douglass, who preceded Gandhi, as well as MLK, who was influenced by Gandhi, in recognizing that even the oppressors are themselves oppressed. They're oppressed by evil, and we seek to free them and liberate them just as we want to be liberated. This is a very loaded episode, so please check out the full episode at the link.